Hey everybody, back again. As you can tell, I'm at home getting ready for bed actually. I've already taken my shower, so I look like a drowned rat. Which is funny because right now I'm scratching a fat cat. um, who's probably getting ready to like headbutt the camera. Yep, he did. Um, and now he's licking my hand that I'm trying to hold the camera on. Man, he's got a rough tongue. Uh, this is I'm going to try to keep this brief. I've tried to do this video a few times. A couple times it just quit headbutting my hand. You've been in a fight, haven't you, fatso? Yeah, he got scratched on his nose again, so I've got to doctor that. Like I said, I've tried a few times to do this video, and every time I do it, it gets a little too ranty on co-workers and stuff like that, and I try not to do that. I really do. Maybe it's just not meant for me to do a video of this nature. Uh, uh, but this was kind of spurred on by a talk I had with my supervisor. Just keep in mind, this particular supervisor, she was born in Brazil, and she's old enough she has grandkids. So that should tell you something. And she and I get along quite well, so that tells you something about me. I have more in common with someone born in, basically a third world country, 50 years ago than I do people my own age, and I'm 31. You can't tell it by the looks of me. I'm told I look about 10 years older than I really am, and act like twice as old as I really am. Some say more. I'm closer to 100 than anything, but oh well. We were talking, and we got on to people not being considerate of others, and that was one thing that came up. And yeah, it seems like every day people are getting worse at that. But we were talking about people who don't take pride in what they do. They just muddle through it, do the bare minimum to get by, and oh well, whatever. And she said, she has to do audits on their work, and she says, there are some people, I give words of encouragement to, or I give advice to. And again, I do apologize for the video shaking. This is what happens when a almost 15-pound cat keeps headbutting you. But she said, there's some people here, I give words of encouragement to, or when they do a good job, I tell them that, or I give them advice. But there's some people I don't even bother anymore because they don't care. They're just here to draw a paycheck, get their benefits, and just do enough to get by. And how they don't take pride in what they do. They don't. And that kind of hit me. She told me a story about she was teaching this 10-year-old little girl how to sew, and she helped her make a little tote bag to carry her books in, and with a little pocket and everything, and how proud this little girl was of her accomplishment because she did something herself. And she showed up to school, and the teacher, school has started here, and her teacher had a little tote bag, but it didn't have a pocket on it, and that's a relevant part of the story. And the little kids were teasing her, why would you want to learn to sew? Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? She said, look, I'm being creative. I'm making something. What else could I be doing? Just sitting around playing games or whatnot? No, I want to learn. I want to do something. And she was proud of her accomplishment. And then she said, look at Miss So-and-so. She has a tote, but it doesn't have a pocket on it. Mine does. And which was a nice little comeback to that, because she was able to do it the way she wanted to because she was willing to learn and try. And then she took pride in what she did because I don't know how good of a job she did, but still she took pride in it because it was of her own doing. And, I'm different than a lot of people my age. I was raised to take, no matter what the job is, no matter how seemingly meaningless it is, you should always take pride in it. Because that's a part of you going into it. Like I said, a lot of people just don't understand that, they don't appreciate it. I know one thing I've wanted for quite a while was a Savage 1907 pistol. And I finally found one. They've been going up in price and going up in price. And it's like, I can't really afford it, can't afford it. And then I found one someone had sent the finish off on, and it needed new grips done. And so I bought it. It was dirt cheap. And I was like, even if the grips were like $25, and of course I have to do a lot of fitting, and I still have a lot of fitting to do on them to make them work. But I got it, and they know, why didn't you just go ahead and get one that already worked? It's like, because one, it costs a whole lot more than I'd have in it with parts, and two, there's a particular reason why, and there's a process called rust bluing where you use a special etching solution that will rust the metal, and then you boil it in distilled water and it turns it into a black oxide, which you rub off with, in my case, I'm using steel wool, and you do this repeatedly until it develops, and the particular formula I have develops a almost black finish. I've been wanting to try that out for years. I had the opportunity to do that and to get a pistol. So yes, and I told people, this is why I'm wanting to do it. Well, why don't you just, and they came back with, why don't you just use this instead? Why don't you just spray something on? Why don't you Cerakote it or Duracoat it or whatever? It's like, because I could do that, but I could try to do that myself, or I could pay someone to do that. And I've recently come across a pretty good gunsmith. He's a nice guy. I could take it to him and he could knock it off and knock it out in 3 or 4 hours. But I would rather take pride in looking at it and saying, hey, this has a little part of me in it. And that's why I'm doing it. But people still don't understand. Even when I tell them my motivations for it, they don't understand. Because they want the instant gratification. They don't want to work for it. They don't understand the notion of, they don't have the ambition. They don't understand taking pride in what you do. And, like I said, I don't understand that. And it's like that in all things, it seems like. More and more each day, people don't want to take pride in what they do. They want to take shortcuts. They want to pack the work off on others. And why? Even if you're doing the most menial, mind-numbing job ever, you should go in there and approach it like, this is a part of you. This is a reflection of who I am. And you should go in and do your best and put your heart into it, because that's your labor. That's your time. That's a part of you. You're putting a part of you into that work. Why not do a good job so you can be proud of it? But people still don't get it, and I don't readily understand that. Same as I don't understand why, little things like what happened today. I was trying to get off the interstate on my way home, and I had my turn signal on to hit the off ramp, and the car behind me, I actually started to get onto the off ramp, and the car behind me, tried to stop it and go around and force his way in front of me. So I had to pull away, pull back in the lane. Then another car came around, passed me on the left side, cut me off, and squeezed into a spot, almost caused an accident, all because, people are complacent. They only care about what it is they're doing. And I think that ties in also into not taking pride in what you do. They don't really care. It's all about them. It's like I've heard say, their me is too big. And there's a lot of that going around. It's not just at work. It's not just driving on the highway or interstate. You see it everywhere. You see it at the store. You see it on the, just out walking around. Anytime you're around people anymore, it seems like they've got their nose buried in their phone. They can't even be bothered to look where they're walking. Or, in the aisles at the store, they can't be bothered to move it to the side. And if you try to squeeze by and you say, "Excuse me," they get mad at you. And these are the same people that, like the one time where the little kid almost kicked me in the store and the parent just stood there and gave me a dirty look like they were daring me to say something. It's a very hard concept for me. I guess maybe I was raised different, but I was raised you should try to take other people into consideration. It don't always work out that way, but you should. You shouldn't focus solely on what you're doing, but you should focus on what other people are doing and how what you're doing could affect them. People don't do that. So, like I said, I just don't quite readily understand this all. Uh, how you could not take pride in what you do, because that's you're the work you do, the things you do, the things you say. That's a reflection on you. And why you wouldn't want to put your best foot forward and try to do your best is beyond me. And these are the same people that complain, if they get in trouble for doing something wrong. These are the same people that throw hissy fits if they get in trouble because they just screw up royally because they don't care. These are the people that complain the loudest over each and every little thing. If someone else does the same thing they're doing, they're the ones that complain the loudest. But they're the ones that can't be bothered to do what they're supposed to because they don't take pride in them. And I guess maybe they just don't have pride in themselves. I don't really know. I do know it doesn't make sense to me. So, my challenge to y'all, all like 5 people who will probably watch this, take the opportunity to try to learn something new, to do something new, to try something new. And when you do something, go in and do the best you can in hopes that when it's all said and done, you can look at it and be proud of the fruits of your labor, so to speak. On that note, I'm going to get off here. It's rather close to my bedtime. I'm about zonked out. I'm just tired. It's been a long time. Plus, we're staying up late, rust bluing a pistol. That's been, yeah, I really am doing that. It's slowly getting there. There's a few little splotches that or not taking as quickly as I like. And if you've ever seen a Savage 1907, there's just a lot of curves and stuff. Very much an Art Deco styling. Actually, it's probably Art Nouveau. I probably butchered the pronunciation on that. But it had that styling from the turn of the 20th century. Lots of curves and stuff. Really a work of art, if I must say so myself. Of course, I'm a fan of those styles anyway, so I kind of like it. And I've noticed a lot of the places I'm having the most issues are trying to get into those curves, and I'm probably trying too hard, and it's biting me in the butt. But yeah, like I said, I'm trying to learn something new. I'm trying to do something new and different, and hopes I can be proud of the end results. Follow suit. Here's your opportunity. I know it's the week, and people probably are too busy to try stuff, but the weekend is coming up. Right now it's Wednesday evening. Weekend's coming up. You're going to have time soon enough. Take the weekend. Try to learn or do something new. One thing. And go in there and do your best and hope and try to do a good enough job that you can, put enough effort into it that you can be proud of the accomplishments. However good or bad it may turn out, do, do enough of the work and try hard enough that you can be proud of the end results. That's my challenge to y'all. I'm getting off here. Let me know what you think. Hopefully I'm looking at getting a camera because my phone's acting funky. I'm hoping to get one of those fancy little action cams. I don't know what yet, which means I can do all kinds of cool stuff. I've got some ideas. Anyway, I'm getting off of here. Later.